is there any times that you've sort of thought, oh gosh, these guys are not going to make it?
Yes.
Welcome back to The Buzz with Bernadette. I'm Bernadette Marie, and hello to all my insiders. Today I'm sitting down with someone who has had a front row seat to hundreds of love stories. Kate O'Keefe is a celebrant. She marries couples for a living, and she's also a relationship coach who works with FIFO couples. The 2 weeks on, 1 week off life that so many families across WA know inside and out. So she sees the wedding day and she sees what comes along after that day. So let's welcome her to the show, Kate O'Keefe. This episode of The Buzz with Bernadette was filmed at Active Wellness Spa in East Victoria Park. It is open 24 hours and you let yourself in, so you can go whenever it suits you, day or night. They have the Terra Orb full spectrum infrared and red light to help you recover and reset, and the Active Roll, a contactless massage that works on lymphatic drainage and recovery. Come and try it out for yourself at 207 Bank Street. So welcome to the show, Kate.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. So tell us how it all began. Where did it all start for you?
Well, we could go right back to when I was 5 and we had a Japanese exchange student come out from Japan and basically started teaching Japanese at the school. I loved it. I love sushi more than actually learning the language, I think. So
yeah. It's hard to learn that language.
Totally.
I've tried 3 times.
It is difficult, but for some reason it just stuck. And then I decided when I left school that I was going to become a teacher, and sort of then niched into Japanese and actually spent a bit of time in Japan. So I sort of got the travel bug, and it hit pretty hard. I guess the beauty of teaching, it can take you all over the world. And for me, that was like the biggest classroom. Like, I just absolutely love travel. So, teaching took me abroad for 10 years. I spent some time in London and also Dubai.
Wow.
Which was incredible. And then I came back, started teaching again back in Australia. And I wasn't loving my job. And it just so happened that my nan had called on one of the days where I was like, I need to change careers. You know, I've had enough. This is too much. And she's like, I've got a job for you and I will pay for you to do the course. And I was like, what is that? And she said, what about a marriage celebrant? And I mean, who doesn't love love? I'm like, this could be fun. So, sort of having it in my mind. I'd been bridesmaid 8 times. And I was like,
you had the experience.
just a little bit. MC maybe 5 times.
Wow.
And so I thought, I'll do the course and see what comes of it. And I started 12 years ago and still going.
The rest is history. So it was a really organic kind of thing. How hard was the course, by the way?
Well, I think it was about 900 hours. It was a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more than what people think.
Yeah. We watch these movies like where people go, I'll just do my online accreditation.
Yeah.
So like 900 hours.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, and there's a lot of like you have to do all these mock ceremonies and things like that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you have to get like
so
awkward?
Like when
if you do hairdressing and you've got to get models?
Pretty much. And then people are like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, please help me out. So that was a bit of fun, and then sort of went into becoming a celebrant.
And do you remember your first wedding and how nervous were you?
I had been to the toilet about 10 times.
My God.
I was actually living in Melbourne at the time. And I will never forget it because I was at Werribee Mansion, Samara and Scott. I remember it like it was yesterday.
You know the names and everything. I can't remember who I met yesterday.
Literally. And if they're watching this, they'll probably be like, oh, I can't remember that. But I was so fixated on getting their story right and telling their story and doing it really well. And I'd, of course, welcomed her down the aisle, and then bang, I was straight into the story. I was like, right, let's get this going.
Yeah.
And I got halfway through the story and I looked up, and I just remember all the guests were still standing. And I was like,
oh, my gosh.
I haven't told them to sit down. Like, I told them to stand up, had not told them to sit down. I was like, Oh, I was like, I'm so sorry, guys. You
so
can sit
eager
down.
to get a good job done, but you forgot
Literally.
to relax.
One and done. I was like, I've learned my lesson, but now anytime a new celebrant comes in, she's like, what advice can you give me? I'm like, tell your guests to sit down, please.
Right.
Yeah.
My gosh, because you've got their whole future, their whole memories. Like, it's up to you, kind of. And so, like, that first one would have just been nerve-wracking, the pressure.
It really was.
Do you feel that same pressure now?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think I always think that it's not about me. The day's not about me.
right.
So I just get to deliver their story and deliver it well. And I think because couples will often say, can we read the story? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, you plan your wedding down to the nth degree.
Yeah.
This is the one surprise that you can get. And, like, they know their story, obviously, but to be able to tell someone's love story in a way that they've never heard before and none of their family or friends have ever heard before is, such a pleasure and a privilege.
Actually, what happens with the vows? Like, you know, do people actually still read them off cards or are they memorising them?
They're still reading off cards, I mean, legally they have to say their legal vows and then generally, so I'll print their personal vows after that and so
and
they
then
can read
they're
off.
legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I actually married a couple at the top of Bluff Knoll.
Wow.
2 Wednesdays ago.
Wow.
And she stood up there and they'd actually written the same vows. It was an elopement. And she read hers out and I said to the guy, oh, you know, here's your card. And he just said, no, I'm good, thanks, and handed it back. And he'd recited it all. And I was like, oh, yes.
He was so confident.
So good. And she's like, you should have told me. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant.
Good.
Yeah.
And actually that's something I've heard recently is elopement. So is that something that's happening more regularly because weddings are super expensive now?
Yeah, I think the average wedding was hitting something like $55,000 and, you know.
I was thinking 100.
Yeah, that's for a smaller wedding. That's like for 60 guests sort of thing.
Right.
But I think, people have got different priorities now and they want to buy houses and life's expensive.
Yeah.
So, the micro weddings or the legals only.
Wow.
I also do a Married in a Minute each year. So I pick one awesome date for the year. So I started this just after COVID. So it was 22nd of the 2nd, 2022.
Oh, wow.
And married 10 couples in a park during the day, just in a minute. Some people come over in their lunch break. People in jeans. Is
this something you started?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is something to really know. That is amazing.
Well, it's good for those couples that are like, you know, they've been together forever and maybe they want the same surname as their kids.
It now, and they're just like, come on, let's just save the money. Because let's face it, if we can just fly to Italy and enjoy the money that way.
100%, I'm with you.
And are you travelling around Australia doing weddings as well, or just you're based here now?
I mainly do WA. I still have a lot of family and friends back in Victoria, so I've actually got my cousin's wedding in January we'll head back for. But I've done one in Tassie, one in Queensland, but predominantly here. Yeah. Because again, the cost of people flying you to places can be quite expensive.
Exactly. Do you think family members feel obligated to get you?
Please don't. I'm happy to just party.
I know. That's the other thing. Sometimes you just want to relax.
Absolutely.
You know? Do you remember anything like the most chaotic thing that may have happened at one of your ceremonies?
Yeah. Okay. So the one that comes to mind again, it was in Melbourne. I can't remember what the park was called, but it was out of town. And we had done a rehearsal. They wanted their 2 big golden retrievers to be included, which, I mean, you can never rehearse dogs and kids, right?
Never work with animals or babies.
That's right. And they were so cute at rehearsal. They just sat there for the whole time and, you know, they were laughing, saying, oh, imagine if they did this tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, of course they will. And they did. They sat and they sort of had their leads underneath the leg of the table.
Yeah.
And all was going well, partway through the story, and they just started barking like really loud. And they were up and I was like, oh, what is going on here? And next minute they just bolted and they'd seen like this little echidna coming out, which you can't rehearse that.
You can't plan nature.
Literally. And, they took off. The paperwork went flying. The pens went flying. epic photo, but yeah.
You're like, normally I'm very organised. This never happens.
Blame the echidna.
Yeah. Exactly. And have you ever sat at a ceremony thinking, look, like, because do you do a bit of lead up first with the couples? Like
Yeah,
you
loads.
do. Yeah. How much lead up would you do?
I guess I've probably done about 15 hours work in total in the lead up to the actual day.
Wow.
But in terms of meeting the couples, maybe could be anywhere between 2 and 3 hours. And then obviously a lot of emails back and forth to plan the actual
And is that
day.
just, in terms of what you like, or is how deep do you
Yeah,
go
so
with them?
you do need to get to know them pretty well. Like, you don't want to stand up there and sort of be a third wheel, like, who's this girl sort of thing. You want to be a part of it.
And
so
you don't want to say something that's not true to them.
Yeah. And so you sort of, I guess, by sitting down and chatting with them, you get to know their vibe, you get to know what they want, what they like, what they don't like, what they find boring at weddings, what they, So some couples
So it's kind of compatibility you get to sense. So is there any times that you've sort of thought, oh, gosh, these guys are not going to make it?
Yes.
Like if they're arguing over the smallest things at that stage, how are we going to get,
I vividly remember a couple, it was early days as well, and they were arguing over the cost of the flowers. So she had told him 5, which he thought 500. It was 5,000 at the time. And this was like early days, so probably close to 12 years ago. And she went out to the car to get some ID, and he just looked at me and he's like, what is happening? I was like, that one's not a me question. That's probably, you're going to have to direct it to her.
A wedding planner or her.
Yeah.
I don't think guys realise how expensive a
No.
lot of things are actually. But yeah.
But yeah, they lasted 12 months and I was very sad to see that one break up. But I kind of knew at the meeting there was...
So they really did break up.
They just had different priorities, I think, from the start. It wasn't just about the flowers. There was a lot more underlying things.
That is sad. And has anyone ever actually backed out on the day?
No, I haven't had anyone back out. We have had to delay a wedding due to a very, very drunk groom.
Wow.
Yeah, legally.
Hung over or drunk on the day?
No, he was drunk. He fell out of the limousine.
He should have saved that for Married at First Sight.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shame. So legally I can't obviously marry someone that's blind drunk.
Yeah, so you can't.
No. So yeah, we sent him off. We sent actually everyone off to the reception to get the party started. He went off and had a little sleep and slept it off. And the bride still went through with the wedding.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so it was quite a few hours later and we brought everyone back together and they just did a very quick ceremony and the signing of the papers, and then party was back on.
He should have joined up for that 60-second wedding next time, I think.
I think so.
So in the week before, like, what do couples generally they're fighting about? I feel like it's a really sensitive time.
It is. It's very stressful, I think. And I think couples, they're all consumed by the planning and, budgeting and everything. Everything they talk about is the wedding. So they almost get these blues, like the post-wedding, they get these blues of like, now what do we do? Yeah. Now what do we talk about?
Exactly.
It definitely does hit them pretty hard.
That's scary stuff. So you see couples before the wedding and then you also see them obviously after or in their hard times. What's the difference between the wedding and the marriage? Because the wedding brings about stresses and then the first year of marriage especially brings about other changes and stresses as well.
Yeah, I think the wedding day itself, I guess it prepares you for this, extraordinary day.
It's fantasy.
It is. Yeah. It's the most magical, beautiful day. I vividly remember the entire day on my wedding day. It was just magnificent. But I don't think it prepares you for all of the ordinary days that marriage actually brings. Obviously, I'm now a relationship coach as well. So I don't force couples into a pre-marriage workshop, but I suggest, I'll strongly recommend that they do it. And it's so crucial because I bring up things that they may not have even thought about. Like they're in their lollipops and rainbows and everything's great and this wedding's going to be fantastic, but they don't think about the things after that. Like things change, life happens, you know, kids come along, maybe they don't come along. Like there's infertility, there's kids with additional needs, there's, you know, loss of jobs, there's loss of parents or grief or just hard times. And I don't think often, well, we don't think or prepare for what that might actually look like post-wedding day.
Exactly.
So I think, one thing I do is like a shared vision workshop, and it's like, what does life look like for you? And if this was to happen, how do you think you'd react with that? And so it's really good just to plant some seeds. Like if this does happen to us, where will we be at?
No, well, it opens up a can of worms as well, because if the girl or one of the partners sees that, oh, gee, my partner's not really open to even discussing what happens if something bad happens, then the wheels start turning. Then they start thinking, are we really compatible? How can we go through with this? So, I mean, look, prevention is the best. Good to get it all out
totally
on the table.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because some couples will just say, oh, no, he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, if he's not going to do that and he doesn't want to talk about things before you've even had problems, like what will that look like further on down the track when some hard times really hit? So, that is quite interesting. And just teaching them how to communicate and what different communication styles look like, and, you know, being aware, I guess, of one another. And
it's not so scary to communicate.
No.
And it must be frustrating for you, because you're obviously, communication is a really easy thing for you. It's easy for me. But when you find those men, I'm going to say, but it could be anyone that don't like communicating, like how do you like initially start introducing them to, or just saying, look, it's not that hard. Like it's really difficult one.
It is really difficult. And I think, you know, I now have a lot of men on my books, which is great. Yeah, because at the start it was very much like, no, you're going to take her side. And now a lot of guys, even guys that I've done relationship coaching, they've kept me on as a life coach afterwards. And I think it's not your side, my side. Like we are a team and we need to be able to get through this. And I think just normalising that tough conversations are okay.
Yeah,
like if you're not having them, you're not moving forward.
That's
you will literally just stay stuck.
Yes. You have to have friction to get to the next level.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Really. But that's so good, and it's a credit to you that you've got heaps of men on the books. And I do think initially they think, oh, nah, I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get me to talk to the girl. I was just going to be on your side.
That's right.
And then after the initial meeting, I'm sure they, you know.
They do. Yeah. I have a good amount of sense of humour and banter that I can actually use to sort of bring them in a little bit.
Get your blokey.
Now I got you.
That's right. And then let's specifically now talk about FIFO. So do you deal with a lot of couples who are or one partner's working FIFO?
So my husband and I actually lived FIFO for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I have that lived-in experience, and I was doing relationship coaching for a couple of years, but I found that most of the couples on my books were FIFO. So I thought, let's do it. Let's niche straight
down
into it. Yeah. So, and there was no one really doing it in Australia. There were people sort of working with high-stress couples, but no one that had actually niched. And to be honest, even me going, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
But there is such a need, and I think a lot of them will see marriage counsellors and they tell them to communicate more. I'm like, it doesn't quite work like that for FIFO couples, because they're living in these, you know, two-world syndrome, I guess. The partner will fly away, and then the stay-at-home partner's there and she's trying to get into a rhythm, and it's really difficult.
Yeah, I know, because like then the woman, he's away and the woman's like, right, I'm going to take care of the kids or go out for lunches with the girls or use this time to catch up with my girlfriends, and, you know, the house looks amazing. And then he comes back and it's just a really like, how do we level this out?
Yes.
Because then she might be like, oh, yay, let's go out on a date night. Let's do all this. And he's probably not like got the energy for that.
He comes home exhausted.
Exhausted.
Yeah, whoever the FIFO workers, male or female, when they come back, they are actually exhausted. And so that's why they have a lot of bust-ups in that first 48 hours, because they're obviously running on different nervous systems. Different energies and different rhythms, and then they come back together, and either she's exhausted because she's got kids and she's been running the whole household and, everything, brekkie, lunch, dinner is on her, bills are on her.
Yeah, and she probably just wants to get the kid and do that old move.
Yeah, and he comes home and he's absolutely exhausted. Like they work so hard when they're on site. They sleep poorly because they're sleeping in this little single bed. There's noise all around them. People are moving chairs and it's loud, or, FaceTiming people back home. So they've both got it really hard. It's just different hard.
Yeah.
And then they try and come back together. And if they haven't managed to stay connected while they've been apart, or sometimes they have an argument while they're away and then boom, they don't speak for a couple of days.
And then you've wasted that time.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, he'll be back again.
Yeah. And like you say, like some women like get into their rhythm and they like things the way that they have them, and then he comes home, he feels like a stranger walking back in. She's like, I was going along fine here, and then they butt heads.
That's right. And then there's all different stages as well, because then you get like the women who have been through that for 5-10 years, and then they get to a point where they're like, roll the eyes, like, oh, he's coming back soon. Like, and they're quite happy to be on their own.
Yeah.
So there's all different stages of it. So I think it is really important to have that third person come in and explain to both parties.
Yeah.
So what would be your first bit of advice, like for each partner, like when the man comes back?
Yeah, I think
how to treat it.
Yeah, I think space, one thing I guess when they come back is one person's often craving the connection and one's craving space, or they might both be craving space, but just being aware of what that looks like for one another. And I mean, hate to come back to communication, but that is the biggest thing. Like they don't know what they don't know, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing when they come back. When they're away, they don't want to have the tough conversations because they don't want to argue while they're away. Then when they come home, they don't really want to have those conversations because they're like, oh, we've only got a limited time together. So it all gets pushed under the carpet, and then these big walls of resentment just get built, which is then really hard to repair after the next argument.
So true. And so if someone's listening right now and their partner flies out on a Sunday, what is the one thing you would tell them, for their partner who's flying out? Like,
I think one of the biggest things, and I know even personally I did it as well when my husband was working away, is to try and enjoy the moment right until they go, because that day before is often a write-off. Like it's the day where generally they'll start packing again to leave. She starts feeling sad because so already, you're starting to feel a bit out of sorts, and then you waste that entire day.
I know.
Just thinking about, I don't want you to go, or, they start getting sad. Sometimes they'll have an argument because he starts getting into work mode and thinking, okay, I've got to fly out. What do I need to pack? So one of the big things I always say is when a person comes back from site, wash all of your gear, repack it, and put it under the bed so it's ready to go, so that the day before fly out day, they're not spending all their time wasting packing a bag. They know that it's done. They can enjoy that last day and really connect with either their partner or their kids or whatever situation they're in, but to really lap up that last day rather than feeling like, I don't want to go back to work. It's like us, you get the Sunday blues, like, oh, I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
That's such good advice. And then what about like when they come home? Yeah,
so when they come home is definitely a re-entry agreement of what that looks like and really going through it. And at the start, people always go, we've got to do an agreement. I'm like, well, then we know that it's going to eradicate any arguments when you're coming home, because you know what the agreement is, you know what it looks like. And it might be that he says, if I've been on night shift, and then sometimes they'll travel and sometimes they won't have been asleep for like 48 hours by the time some people get home. So they're like, it might be dinner, bath with the kids, and then you go straight to sleep when the kids go to sleep? Or is it that, you know, you need to have a sleep before you function and get back into the daily life, just for safety reasons more than anything? Because
that's right.
You know, some people have to drive long periods from the airport. But really just coming up with that agreement of what that looks like on re-entry.
That's good. And if it's there on paper sort of thing, then you know what to expect.
Yeah.
And if somebody drops the ball on it, then you know where to go from there. Yeah.
And it's just communicating your needs of what that looks like when they come back into your space or you're coming back into theirs.
And it's so good that you niched down on FIFO, because I feel like it's a massive part of WA.
Yeah, it is.
Do you feel like, is it all around Australia, but mainly, I'd say mainly WA?
Yeah, I'd say mainly WA, but in saying that, I've probably got about 30% of my clients are from Queensland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you do online?
Yeah, only online.
Oh, okay.
But the time difference is only 2 hours. It gets a little bit harder when it pushes out to 3, but generally it's okay. We can make it work.
Yeah.
And the good thing about FIFO is they generally have all day. You know, they have that time, so it's not like night time or they have to do it after 5 o'clock or anything like that. So we try and schedule it in so that it works for both parties.
True. Now, going back to a bit of marriage talk, so I want to try something new. I put on my stories over the weekend. It's called Ask the Insiders. My listeners, the insiders, are going to vote on a situation and you are going to settle it.
Okay, love this.
So here's the one they voted on. My friend got invited to a wedding, then found out all the guests had to pay for their own meals at the reception. And I asked the audience, fair enough or no way? Now, they weren't shy. 14% said fair enough.
Yeah.
86% said no way, not a chance. So you marry people for a living. What is your verdict on this one?
I don't think I've definitely never been asked to pay for a meal, and I haven't heard much of it.
Wow.
I do feel like people would have like a micro wedding or a legals only, or I've had people that will have a very small ceremony and then maybe just a dinner or a cocktail or something like that. In my personal opinion, I could never ask anyone to pay for a meal at my wedding.
No.
I would rather have a smaller amount of people that I could actually afford than the big wedding and then say, right, guys, chip in, give us your bank deets.
Yeah, that's right. I completely agree with you.
I'm with your crew on that one.
So we're going bring it down a little bit.
Yes.
And, quality.
Yeah, and make it affordable for yourself. Like, don't stretch yourself that you're going to be in a position that it's then essentially going to, damage the relationship down the track because you're going to be in financial stress.
So I think we've got like cocktail parties we could do.
Yeah.
Micro. So how many is in a micro wedding?
Under 20 usually.
Oh, under 20.
Yeah.
We've got is that considered like an elopement?
Yeah. Elopement and micro weddings. Elopements can be 2 people. So the one that I did at Bluff Knoll was just a photographer and a videographer, and they were used as the witnesses.
Wow.
And then it was me and the bride and groom.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then are people like coming back home and then doing a viewing of the video and stuff like that?
Lots of different ways. Like this beautiful couple from the UK, so they were going to get a photo and then do a handwritten note like, yeah, we got married, and send it back overseas. Sometimes people will do surprise weddings as well, is another one.
Oh, right. So if they're celebrating a birthday or something and then they turn it into a wedding?
I've had some epic ones. So a lot of them are engagement turn weddings.
Oh, yes.
I do have some this season, so I won't say too much on that. But one of the best ones I did was definitely we were ready to surprise a girl for her 30th, and the couple were not engaged, and she walked around the thing and we were all ready to say, surprise, and she walked around in a wedding dress.
Oh, that is so
It was
good.
brilliant. Her mum and dad didn't even know.
Oh, that is amazing.
Well, not so amazing for the mum because she's like, I would not have worn this dress.
Yeah, I know. And I think there's always going to be someone who's not happy.
Yes.
Like some family member who's a bit offended maybe. And so there's that aftermath you have to deal with. But weddings have just gone up and up and up in price. So what are people supposed to do?
That's right.
You've got to pivot.
Yeah, I just say your wedding your way. Like when it gets, if you get it to the bottom line, it is about two people wanting to spend the rest of their life together.
Yeah.
The wedding day, whatever, a lot of people are doing it for someone else. It's for my mum. My mum wants this, or my dad wants this, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't even have a wedding cake at my wedding. That's not a legal requirement. I don't eat cake, so we didn't have a cake.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. Did you have any other kind of dessert?
We had like a big dessert bar.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, which was fun.
And the cutting of the cake, did you do something else symbolically or?
Nope.
No, that's so interesting.
No,
Who says we need to have cake?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like, you need a celebrant legally to marry you, but apart from that,
legally,
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's right. And where's one of the most beautiful locations you've married someone?
Or Bluff Knoll is like
at top.
Yeah, it was always on my list. But WA is absolutely spoiled for choice. Like, there's not too many places that I haven't been to. I'm like, oh, this is average. Like, we're so lucky.
We are so. We've got like the caves and
everywhere down south is beautiful. Swan Valley.
Swan Valley's gorgeous.
Cottesloe, like we've got beaches. Even though I don't love beach weddings.
Yeah, I know. He's giving you Pamela Anderson vibes. Well, then there goes one of my rapid fire questions we're going to finish off with. And we got some rapid fire.
Okay.
I was going to say church, beach or backyard?
Backyard every day of the week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Every day of the week.
How gorgeous.
Beach, it sounds good in theory.
Yeah, I know.
The wind, the hot feet, like sand in your shoes.
The dry hair afterwards.
Yeah, it's not good.
And
public people everywhere, like, no.
Yeah, no. I know, and you don't know is a wet dog going to run up?
And the wind is really annoying as well.
Who's going to get the best wind? The female, the male? And so with a backyard, I guess they can just do it up. They can theme it really nice.
Oh,
dance floor.
Well, I had a backyard wedding, so
there you go.
Even though it was on a nice, beautiful, big property, it was my mum and dad's, but still, plus as a backyard wedding.
But it's beautiful. You can make it however you want.
Yeah.
Kids at a wedding, yes or no?
I say yes. I'm a school teacher. For the ceremony, yes.
Yeah.
For the reception, no.
Okay.
The reason for that is if I'm a parent and I want to party, I'm not going to relax and enjoy myself with a child there.
Yeah.
In saying that, some are all about the kids, so they have cousins and kids and, sometimes it's an earlier finish.
Yeah.
So go for gold. But,
I know.
It's not really the place, I don't think, as a reception for kids.
I agree. Cash or wedding registry, if people are still doing wedding registries?
Ooh. If I'm answering, I'm saying cash all the way.
Yeah, I think me too.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think people are already set up by the time people are living together now before they get married. Yeah. Times are different.
I think the big bird cages with the little cash envelopes are
100%
good. And long engagement or just do it?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it done. If you get engaged, I know there's different reasons for it. Sometimes people will be like, oh, I want to save up. But if you're engaged to get married, just do it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and last one, airport goodbye or is the pickup harder? Do we drop them at the airport or do we pick them up?
Ooh, dropping at the airport is very difficult. I'd pick up every day of the week.
Pick up is more positive, isn't it? Yeah,
way more fun.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, thanks for chatting with us today. It's been really, really fun. This has been a really fun chat and I've learnt lots about weddings and good advice about relationships as well.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.